George Pickens. You know, Pickens is not happy in the Dallas Cowboys. On the social media on this Friday, George Pickens followed Dallas Cowboys on Instagram. This gives us, most of the fans, a hope that George Pickens is happy to stay in the Dallas Cowboys, but inside, George Pickens is not happy after signing a franchise tag contract with the Dallas Cowboys. Do you know the reason why? Of course, there is more reasons why George Pickens is not happy. The contract negotiation between the Cowboys and George Pickens went wrong because what he proposed was rejected by the Dallas Cowboys. And also what the Dallas Cowboys proposed, George Pickens signed this contract franchise tag due to also respecting the Dallas Cowboys. But that is not what he wanted at the beginning. The things that he wanted, it was to sign a long-term contract in order to be the one of the highest paid wide receiver in NFL. But Cowboys didn't sign him for the long-term contract because they are not ready to pay for George Pickens more than 30 million per one season. And that was a proposal, that was a contract proposal, because George Pickens asked Cowboys to pay him 30 million per season in 4 years. But Cowboys decided not to activate or decided to not sign George Pickens on that contract. They decided, of course, to give him 1 year contract on franchise tag so that they can continue negotiate over long-term contract. But also, George Pickens asked the Cowboys to trade him this off-season, but Cowboys denied it. These are some of the reasons which makes George Pickens to become angry about Dallas Cowboys, and this is why we started by saying, does George Pickens happy with the Dallas Cowboys? That's a question mark. But according to the multiple insiders, he is not happy in the Dallas Cowboys, and most of the people worries about his performance in upcoming season, because when a player is not full committed to play for the team, sometimes it affects his production. That's why some people say that maybe George Pickens will not play at the level that we can expect on him. And when you try to look on the last season how George Pickens was a key player for the Dallas Cowboys, you start to question how this upcoming season he will play for the Dallas Cowboys. And we think Cowboys can do something, either give him a long-term contract or trade him, because to keep a player who is not committed 100%, sometimes it doesn't change anything for the team. So you have to think what Dallas can do to make a player happy. But of course, 27 million per one season also, it is a huge amount of the money. Of course, you can understand the side of the George Pickens, because he wants to be in the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. But also you can understand Dallas Cowboys not to give him that contract, because in NFL today, to sign a player, of course, you have to look on the salary cap. And when you think about salary cap, you see that Cowboys have a superstars players who paid by Cowboys a huge amount of the money. And to give George Pickens 30 million per one season, you understand, in the fourth season Dallas could pay more than 120 millions for the 4 years. So it is a huge amount of the money. And if you remember last year, we extended the contract of the CD Lamb. So you understand that those two wide receivers that we have, they are good wide receivers, but to keep them at huge amount of the money to pay them, George CD Lamb by now he gets 35 millions per 1 year. So you understand also to pay CD Lamb more than 30 millions. It is also not easy for the Dallas Cowboys. If you remember that we still have a Dak Prescott, we still have more players who get a huge amount of the money. So George Pickens, this is why he didn't sign a long-term contract with the Dallas Cowboys. But we hope something can change anytime. Maybe Dallas can balance their salary cap. If they balance salary cap, they can resign George Pickens because he's a good wide receiver. No one can happy to lose him. So everyone wants George Pickens to stay in the Dallas Cowboys. So that's what we can say about these issues. But he is not happy. That's what we can say. He's not happy, and he's not happy to play under franchise tag because he's a good player. He's a big name. It's a big name. And a big name cannot happy to play under franchise tag. Big names happy to play for the long-term contract. That's what we are waiting to see if Dallas and George Pickens, they can do something in this 1 year, if they can agree on long-term contract or not. Yes. You know, Dallas Cowboys and their rookies, as we say, that they started the mini camp on this Friday. We say that Caleb Down was among of the players who participated mini camp. More people believe that Cowboys next season will be the exciting season for everyone, exciting season for the players, fans, journalists, insiders. Everyone will be surprised by the Dallas Cowboys. And the defensive coordinator Christian Parker said on this Friday that he is rebuilding the new defensive connection and chemistry in the Dallas Cowboys. And in this new defense, he plans to use Jaishkwan and Caleb Down in the squad. So, you think it is going to be a new looking defense, a new defense for the Dallas Cowboys. And these young players who will be in this defense next season, they have potential. And we believe the issues and the problems that we have seen in the previous this season is going to be solved. And more people also asked the Christian Parker if what he did in the Philadelphia Eagles about defense, how the system that he used in the Eagles, if he plans to bring those systems to Dallas Cowboys. And he said he's not planning to bring the tactics, the systems that he used in the Philadelphia Eagles to Dallas Cowboys. He said he's planning to build new, innovate, create the new system, the new tactics, the unique one for the Dallas Cowboys, not what he used in the Philadelphia Eagles. So we hope, we have curiosity to see the new defense, the new partnership, the new connection between the Dallas Cowboys and the Christian Parker defense. So we hope the things good news, good playing style is going to be in the Dallas Cowboys in upcoming season. And in the first round pick also we have drafted edge rusher Marashi Lawrence, and in the third round pick we have selected also edge rusher Jaishwan Blaham. Yes, and in the fourth round pick we have selected cornerback Devin Moore, and in the fourth round we have selected edge rusher Overton. These 5 players we have selected, all of them they are defensive players, and this helps you to understand why Dallas Cowboys, the priority in this NFL draft was defense. And of course there is more reasons for the Dallas to select more players defensively. It is because defense last season was not good, and defense needed an upgrades, and the upgrades was supposed to be in the draft. This is why we have drafted more players defensively, so as to help Christian Parker to build and upgrade the level of the defense of the Dallas Cowboys. So more players were selected, and also in the off-season trade we have signed players defensively, more players defensively, so to continue to build and strengthen the Dallas Cowboys defense. So no one can doubt about that one. There was a need, there was help for the defense this off season, so that's why we have selected those players in the defense. And Cowboys have also extended the contract of the kicker Brandon Obley, and it was of course necessary for the Cowboys to extend the contract of the Brandon Obley because he has good statistics in the previous 3-2 season. There was more reasons for extending the contract of the Brandon Obley. By now he is the first, and he's the first paid kicker in NFL. Cowboys and Brandon Obley agreed on the new contract of the 4 years, where Cowboys will pay him 9 million per one season. So you understand that he gets good amount of the money. So that's what he wanted. And he was restricted free agent, and Cowboys negotiated him because no team that interested in signing Brandon Obley. That's why he was signed by he was resigned, of course, he was resigned by the Dallas Cowboys, and now he is the best paid kicker in the NFL, Brandon Obley. And now what we are waiting is to see whether George Pickens also will sign a long-term contract as Brandon Obley did this offseason. We are waiting to see if Cowboys and George Pickens will agree on the long-term deal. That's what we are waiting. Even if by now George Pickens signed a franchise tag with the Dallas Cowboys, but also talks over long-term contract is going on both sides. The reasons why Cowboys did this one is because they are not ready to pay for him a huge amount of the money that he wants. They decided to give him a franchise tag of 1 year. In this 1 year, they can continue to negotiate over long-term contract. As multiple insiders said, Cowboys and George Pickens disagreed on the salary for the George Pickens per 1 year. As news from the insiders, George Pickens asked for 30 millions per 1 season, and in 4 years this contract could cost Cowboys more than 120 millions. So he was supposed to be among of the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL, but Cowboys by now they are not ready to pay that amount of the money, and in 1 season on this franchise tag, Cowboys will pay more than 27 millions for the George Pickens. So you understand that to pay 30 millions in 4 years, it is not easy, as also Cowboys do this one by looking on the salary cap. You cannot sign players and giving them more money without also looking on the salary cap. You can break salary cap, of course, when you sign players in this way. That's what Cowboys is escaping. They need another player, they need to extend the contract of another players. They need to sign another one. They need to sign free agent players. Those players, they need the money. So that's why Cowboys decide not to give him a long-term contract on that amount of the money. But by now, negotiation still is going on, and talks is going on. Anytime we can see something special from the front office about this contract of the George Pickens and the and Dallas Cowboys. So that was how George Pickens didn't sign a new long-term contract with the Dallas Cowboys. And also we talked about how Brandon Aubrey signed a new contract and what Cowboys gave him. In this week also, the Cowboys mini camp started on the Thursday, and we have seen more players attended the mini camp training with Christian Parker, especially those one who was drafted. We have seen Caleb Down, we have seen Jaishwan, we have David Moore. Those also and the Lawrence, those players participated in the Cowboys minicamp training so as to start to know what about Dallas Cowboys, to start to understand the system of the Christian Parker new system scheme that he will use next season. So the players attended the minicamp training, and we hope to see them playing at high caliber next season, and to understand what Christian Parker wants them to play, how they want them to play, the style and the system, tactics, and so on. So it is good starting for Christian Parker and players, of course, to start to make communication on both sides. So it is good. It is good for the Cowboys to do this one, to start a mini camp at this time, because these players, they are still young players. They don't have enough experience. They have also to get experience and also to know the rules and values of the Dallas Cowboys through in this mini camp. And also it is a time for Christian Parker to start to test his tactics that he would use, as most of these players, they are defensive players, and can be a good to start to build communication and the chemistry among of the defensive players, so that during the time of play they will start to play with a good communication among of them. So that's good for the Dallas Cowboys. And as off-season approach, after NFL drafts, after NFL free agents market, we are now in the off season, but waiting on the off season friendly games, yes, which is coming in these 2 months. and also NFL camp is going to start also in July. So we are waiting to see how Cowboys will do that. More fans has, of course, curiosity to see Cowboys next season. Everyone want to see how Cowboys will play next season. Everything is new. Players are new. Coaches are new. Yours and recording a good voice. So it's your time to help us through joining a membership, through give us super chat or super thanks or any gift that you may have. It was just a suggestion and it was a little favor. But let's move on and let's go on now. We have a topic today. Do you see Caleb Down as a hero for the Dallas Cowboys? A hero who will give us Dallas Cowboys much better, more than expectation that we expect from him. Who do you think can make a good partnership with the Caleb Down? And also, you have to know this about Caleb Down. More people, more analysts criticized his injury issues that he experienced in the last 2 seasons. So, some people saying that Caleb Down has a knee injury that also can prohibit him for being a good player in the Dallas Cowboys. But we think Cowboys medical staff, they are ready to treat him and giving him what he needs in order to be fit 100. But we believe Caleb Down is going to do something very special for the Dallas Cowboys. He is the best draft in this 2026 class and best safety young player in the NFL. So we have more expectations from the Dallas Cowboys. Best draft Caleb Down, and also we have more curiosity to see these players in the pitch. Of course, we have curiosity to see them at AT&T Stadium. More fans there, TV, people watching on TV these players. So there is more expectations we are now expecting for these young players we have signed, and young players we have drafted. So we have more excitement and more curiosity. So can you give us your comments in the comment section? How do you see these players we have signed? How do you see these players we have drafted? Yes, we are going to see new partnership of different duo because we have more players, more new players, and also we have other players who was in the Dallas Cowboys last seasons. But this coming the season will be also a crucial season for the Dallas Cowboys owners. Jerry Jones promised something for the fans. Some of the fans also started to criticize Jerry Jones, saying that more than 30 years without getting something special, without getting a trophy, without getting a Super Bowl, it's a shame for American team like Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones said they are going to do something this season, but also when you analyze other teams, there is something also missing the Dallas Cowboys. You know, Mick Parsons, he has gone. We didn't replace him in the way that was supposed to replace him. In this offseason, there was more negotiation within the Cowboys and Max Crosby from the Las Vegas Raiders, but negotiation failed. He was supposed to come to the Dallas Cowboys, but he didn't sign for the Dallas Cowboys. He was supposed to replace Micah Parsons, and we have to fill that gap because Micah Parsons was a good player. He was a key player for the Dallas Cowboys. To replace him and bring someone who can fit in that gap, it will not also be easy for the Dallas Cowboys. Coach Brian Schottenheimer and Christian Parker, they have to do something. They have to change mentality. They have to change system, because we need to convince fans. We need to convince everyone that Cowboys is a true contender for the Super Bowl next season. Yes, that's what you have to ask yourself. Can Cowboys be a contender this upcoming season? Yes, for me, I can say yes, but I can say yes by asking myself more questions. Is it a right defense we have right now? Is it right offense we have right now? We have a good offense, but we still doubt on our defense. What we have seen last season, there is no hope that it will not also be this season. Even if we hired a new defensive coordinator, and even if we send more players defensively, we still to see a chemistry between these two sides. We need to see a chemistry of the defense and chemistry with the offense, and also chemistry between the defenders, because we lost more games due to weakness of the defense last season. And we decided to sack Matt Eberflus, our defensive coordinator last season, because he failed to strengthen, and also he failed to upgrade the level of the Dallas Cowboys defense last season, which also created more gap and more losses in the NFL games last season. So we had a new defensive coordinator, we had a new players defensively, we selected the best defenders, we signed also best defenders, we signed good wide receivers, we signed good tight end, we signed good linebackers, we have edge rushers, we have quarterbacks. We have every position, we have a good player. It's a time for coaching staff to produce something unique, because to win NFL Super Bowl, you have to be a unique team. We have to build a unique team, because you have to be different from others in order to win this trophy. So it's a time for the blind Schottenheimer. Yes, it's time for the Jerry Jones. It's time for the fans, all them together, to raise the hands and put this American team on another level, so that we can get another championship as American team. So that's what we can do this upcoming season. Dallas Cowboys, we can do something, my friend. That's what I can say. We can do what Steelers did last season. We can do what Philadelphia Eagles did in 2024. We can do everything, my friend. We can do everything. 30 years of the draft. It is not good for Dallas Cowboys. So it is not good for the Dallas Cowboys as American team. We can do something, my friend. We can do something together. But also we need to build a strong team in all corners. Defensively, offensively. We have money, we have capacity, financially we are good. What we need also, it is management, good management, and also we have to fight. Yes, to fight. So to win this trophy, you have to fight. We tried to keep our best players, George Pickens. We tried to extend the contract of more players this off-season. It's time also to work together for these new faces, new players, with also new coaching members, so we can build something special. My friend, this season we will bring new tactics and techniques in the Dallas Cowboys. This is what coaches said. Schottenheimer, Christian Parker, they are going to introduce new system that will help us. Do you know that system? Defensively, Christian Parker, he said they are going to play a 3-4. 3-4 system. It is going to transform Cowboys defensively to a better and better defense in NFL. So we have also offense. The good news to keep George Pickens in the Dallas Cowboys. He is going to transform with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott to be the caliber team in NFL and win different games together. So let us see what is these boys that are going to do for the Dallas. And in the 4th round, we have selected edge rusher Overton. These 5 players we have selected, all of them, they are defensive players, and this helps you to understand why Dallas Cowboys, the priority in this NFL draft was defense. And of course, there is more reasons for the Dallas to select more players defensively. It is because defense last season was not good, and defense needed an upgrades, and the upgrades was supposed to be in the draft. This is why we have drafted more players defensively, so as to help Christian Parker to build and upgrade the level of the defense of the Dallas Cowboys. So more players were selected, and also in the off-season trade, we have signed players defensively, more players defensively, so to continue to build and strengthen the Dallas Cowboys defense. So no one can doubt about that one. There was a need, there was help for the defense this off season. So that's why we have selected those players in the defense. And Cowboys have also extended the contract of the kicker Brandon Obley, and it was of course necessary for the Cowboys to extend the contract of the Brandon Obley because he has good statistics in the previous 3-2 season. There was more reasons for extending the contract of the Brandon Obley. By now, he is the first, and he's the first paid kicker in NFL. Cowboys and Brandon Obley agreed on the new contract of the 4 years, where Cowboys will pay him 9 million per 1 season. So you understand that he get good amount of the money. So that's what he wanted. And he was restricted free agent, and Cowboys